The people that are saying that we're lazy and that we're stealing are the gatekeepers. They're the people who don't want to embrace new technology. They're the same kind of people that rebelled against the internet when the internet first came about. I think this whole argument is so stupid about this being theft.
Hey everybody, it's Matt. I'm AI DIY, the AI music guy. I believe music is for everyone. I've got Robert from REC TV here. I'll have him do a quick intro and all that stuff, but I'll just say this is the least amount of prep I've done for a podcast going into it, just because I've been talking to Robert pretty much since day one of the channel back and forth. So I just feel like we could just talk. And Robert's a cool guy. He always plugs into the community in different ways. Part of the AI Music Society, part of our community. Robert, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Matt. I've been talking to you since day one, like you said. I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio. May or may not have known that. I moved to Knoxville, Tennessee when I was 15 years old. After some unfortunate things happened in my neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio. My best friend was killed on the school bus stop. So it hit a little too close to home. So we took a little vacation to Knoxville, Tennessee, decided we liked it. About a month later, we were here. And then after about a year living in Knoxville, we decided we wanted to try the small town atmosphere. So we moved to Lenore City, Tennessee. Don't worry if you've never heard of it. Most people haven't. That's where I've been for the past 35 years or so. And I had all these ideas in my head, but I didn't know how to express them as far as the AI goes. And let's see. I love basketball. I love professional wrestling. I have many.
Do you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that. Thanks for keeping WWF real, by the way, in the background. I just hear all that WWE crap. I just want WWF to come back.
Oh yeah. I'm a big '80s WWF fan. I don't really watch much of the product now, so I couldn't really tell you half of the roster right now, really. So Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Andre the Giant. That's when I was a big fan. That's how I grew up on it.
Yeah,
I watched WrestleMania 3 and I got hooked. That's when Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant. That's what did it for me. That's when I pointed at the TV screen and I told my mom, I'm going to do that when I grow up. Obviously I didn't.
Yeah, but you moved to Tennessee, so that's as close as you can to being a professional wrestler. If you're not a professional wrestler, I'd imagine Tennessee keeps WWE and WWF pretty real.
Oh yeah. I've known a couple guys that have been in the local scene, in wrestling. I got those experiences. They're hand-me-down tales, if you will. So
yeah.
But yeah,
look, man, I'll let everybody know for ahead of time. I just want to have a chat with Robert because I find him to be an interesting guy. I listened to his podcast that he did with Popper Presents over at the AI Music Society, and I've just been wanting to have a chat with him because he's an interesting person. I like to do spotlight on people in the community because they're interesting people, and I want people to know that we can all be just regular people and we're very interesting. And this is the kind of people that I think where AI music shines. Guys like Robert that have moved from Ohio to Tennessee that like wrestling and like doing AI music. So
yeah.
So if having a conversation with an awesome guy and then have a few key takeaways, then go away. If you don't like it, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. So when I moved here, I got into, working fast food, got burnt out on that, working grocery stores, got burnt out on that. And some guy came up to me and asked me if I would like to work for his company. And I had never heard of it before in my life. I asked him what it did. He said it sold phones. So I told him I'd never sold a phone before in my life. I've always loved technology, though. So, that's something where I wanted to. And so he gave me the opportunity. I sold phones for about 4 years. I got well versed on those. I became the let's see, in the top 20 in the sales reps for selling straight talk phones, Walmart Family Mobile, a track phone. So I don't know about in Australia if those are if those are well known brands, but here I think.
I remember when I moved to Australia 26 years ago, almost nobody had a cell phone. We call it mobile phone. So if I mobile phone over here,
Oh yeah.
then no, I'm talking about cell phones. And like people had them when I moved over here, like in just in the start of 2000, people had them. Probably in the cities, people had a few more, like the Nokias and stuff. But I was amazed when I moved here. Everybody had a mobile phone. Like part of the lifestyle here, freaking everybody. So that was kind of a shock to me. But and even now, like yeah, I guess it's pretty even now. I guess like Australia and the US, everybody has a freaking phone. But yeah,
I do
back then,
everything on my
yes.
phone. I
Yeah.
mean, everything you see on my channel has been done on a phone.
Yeah. That's crazy to me because I do talk to a few people like you that do everything on the phone. I couldn't imagine. So why is that? Why do you do it on your phone? Is it because you're a phone loyalist?
Sort of, but also because of my eyesight. Some people, some people just assume the bigger the screen, the more able I am to see. And
Mm,
actually, I have to put everything up to my face to see. So it's impractical to take a TV or a phone, or not a phone, a TV or a computer and put it up to my face. So the easiest tool for me to use is my phone. And a lot of people give me crap about that. And they're like, why do you use your phone to make videos? And I'm like, hey, whatever tool you have at your disposal that helps you to create, that's 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 what you use. And
yeah.
that's what's important to me is like everyone has access.
Yeah. So we'll talk just so people understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You have sight impairment, and I believe when we first started talking, it wasn't as bad as it is now. Is that correct?
Yeah, when we first started talking, the impairment was just my left eye, I believe. Um, in my left eye, I can detect light and darkness. That's it. And in
Okay.
my right eye, now my vision is 20 over 200. So I'm legally blind.
Yeah. Can't drive or anything like that. I'm assuming.
No one wants me on the road. Trust me.
Yeah. Probably not driving anybody. It wouldn't be driving any different from anybody else down south. I've driven in Florida a lot. I reckon, for whatever reason, I would feel just as safe.
Yeah, Nashville. Don't try Nashville either. It's horrible.
Yeah. So let's talk about that then. So first of all, like you do on your phone, because I wasn't aware of that. I didn't, like you said, I would have thought bigger screen better. And I'll just say, if people are saying like, "Why do you use on your phone?" You're an idiot. Like I know several people that are very well known in the AI music community that do stuff on their phone, or at least they have. I know one has gotten a new laptop and he does a lot more stuff on the laptop now. But yeah, so you do it on your phone. How long roughly does it take you to make a song, and then like you do some videos too?
Oh gosh, and that's why I don't do many videos. To actually write the song and then see, I write the song on my Samsung Notes on my phone, and then I go
From
back.
scratch, or do you start in AI at all? Do you write like the songs from scratch on your own?
Is
Ooh,
I
have a
start writing
dropout.
my song on my Samsung Notes. If I get stuck anywhere, I'll go to Gemini AI, and I'll ask Gemini AI. I'll copy and paste what I got, to Gemini AI, and I'll be like, "Hey, have you got anything for this?" And
Yeah.
usually it offers up something that I just think is horrible. So I may see one bar out of everything it writes where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna use that. But for the most part, I would say like 98% of my lyrics that are in my song are written by me. So,
Yeah.
um, but my process, first of all, what I do is when I'm thinking of a song and I think of the theme, so I'll write the theme down, and then I'll use what I call a rhyme book for each individual song. I'll pick out keywords that I know I want to use, and then I'll write those words in a list, and then I'll write out every perfect rhyme, slant rhyme, or mosaic rhyme that I know of that I can use with that.
Yeah. That's so explain what that means, because I don't I love when people can have takeaways from these interviews and be like, "Oh, okay, I don't understand what you mean by that. Like, spell that out for me so I understand, because this might be helpful to some people. Definitely will for me."
Okay. So let's see. Like um, like a multi-syllable word. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, but like a
Mhm.
multi-syllable word, like um, automation. Okay. So then, like a word that rhymes with automation is in one syllable is nation. So that's a perfect rhyme. Automation, nation. Um,
Mhm.
but see, a one syllable word well, versus a three syllable word, you want to see if maybe you can take uh, two more syllables and add to nation, and maybe like
Yeah.
three words that make up three syllables. That's called a mosaic rhyme. So, um, and then let's say like automation, uh, PlayStation, something that's
Mm.
not exactly perfect. That's kind of like a
Yeah.
slant rhyme. Like
So this is something I talk about with. I don't know if you remember I interviewed Brianna. What you're talking right now is something I love to learn about. I didn't know it was called mosaic rhyme. She called it assination. I think she called it. So mosaic rhyming. So something that's not a direct rhyme, but it feels like it's a rhyme, or it
like
relates. It's almost a rhyme.
like a small phrase.
Assin. Yeah.
Yeah, like a small sentence or phrase that you can use to rhyme with, like a multi-syllable word to get something out of it. Because I try to count my syllables too, and then the slant rhymes kind of sound like uh, both the words kind of sound alike, especially the vowel, if the vowel hits just right. And if you can bend
Yeah.
it, especially in Suno, it's kind of hard to do slant rhymes. So you kind of have to misspell the word.
Yeah. Yes. I've done that. Yes.
Yeah. So that that's how I start out is with that, and then I go into what I want the song to be about, and think about what my lyrics could be, and also think about what my genre is going to be, because I don't stick to one genre. Some channels
Yeah. I
do,
noticed that. Yeah.
yeah. Some channels do, and mine's more like I've always wanted to go from the approach of not a persona, but more like a radio station. So I
Mm.
have multiple genres.
So there's two genres that I know that you work in. Maybe you talk about that. Like, talk about the genres that you work in. Like I said, there's primarily two that I see from you. Obviously, you do others. What are the tell people what you work in?
I started out with country, but I got burnt out on
Mm.
it because I did like 40 songs in country, and I was like, I can't think of anything else. I gotta go to something else.
That's
And
because it's country.
yeah,
What do you do? Well, you can only so many times you can sing about your dog.
right. So I had to think of something to challenge my creativity, and so that I could get those juices flowing again. So I love rap, but I've never written rap before. So
Mm.
I thought, I wonder if I can write rap. So I wrote a few rap songs, put them out on my channel, and I thought, man, these sound so cheesy. Yeah. And then
No, you got to start.
people started commenting on them, and I started getting positive feedback. And I was like, well, maybe I'm doing something right here. So I got country, I got rap, I got what I call Southern rap, which some people call hip
Mm.
hop, and country rap.
I've never heard that. That's awesome. Maybe it should be a challenge.
Uh, I've written some rock and I've written some reggae. So I got those genres.
Yeah, awesome. And so when you wrote, so you mentioned that up in Ohio, like that tragedy that happened to a friend of yours. Does that come through in some of the songs that you write?
Yeah, yeah. The first song that I ever submitted to you, that I submitted in the comments of one of your, the first video I ever saw of you. You know, I didn't know you had a site to go to submit songs, and I was like, "Hey, dude, I got this song. I want you to hear." You know, so I submitted that song. I couldn't go. That was about my friend Dwayne, who was tragically killed.
Yeah, yeah. This is the kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that people don't. When people look at AI music and see it as like some sort of theft or something like that, people
Oh,
don't see the lens that we see, which is if it wasn't there, you know, someone like you or someone like me we would not have the we wouldn't have the ability to put it out. And people, well, you're just lazy. Like, yeah,
no.
but do I want to basically spend 3 years learning guitar just because I have this thing that I really inside of me that I need to get out? And maybe only you got 2 or 3 songs in you,
the
right?
the people that are saying that we're lazy and that we're stealing are the gatekeepers, and
Mm,
they're the people who don't want to embrace new technology. They're the same people that, if they were old enough back to remember when cell phones came in circulation, they would have rebelled against the cell phone. Uh, they're the same kind of people that rebelled against the internet when the internet first came about. They remind me
yeah,
so much of the old man standing outside saying, "Get off my lawn." you know,
yelling at a cloud.
yeah,
Old man yells at cloud.
yeah, and I really I think this whole argument is so stupid about this being theft. Like, it is being approached from the wrong way. Like,
Mm,
we're not taking any songs. This machine was trained on people singing. True enough, but they were singing songs. We're not reproducing the songs. You know, these are sounds. These are sounds. And it's like, if you took and quoted a sentence from a book, are you then stealing? No,
mm,
you're quoting a sentence from a book that you read. You know,
yeah.
that makes that much sense. And I'm just like, why are the court cases, and why are they revolving around a theft of song? You know,
Yeah.
I don't hear Kid Rock's Cowboy you reproduced on Suno.
That's right. Hopefully nothing from Kid Rock's one of those people that actually said, "No, I wouldn't mind so much." The
Exactly.
guy embraced it. Everybody's gone, well, "No, we don't want your stuff, man."
Well, I have one song that sounds kind of like he's singing it, but it's
Oh,
nothing that
geez.
he would have sung. So that's
Remind me never to go
what
to
I'm
your
saying.
channel again in case I stumble onto it. But so 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 I guess the thing is like with the theft and Suno's really talking about we're coming to this is where the record companies is like or the music industry. So we'll get you one way or another. So it was very much looking like Suno's coming back and is going to have to, people are going to have to be like, yeah, okay, we're going to have to fight the fair use thing that they're coming at. We may not win against fair use. So why don't we come at you from, you've been sampling from YouTube and we can twist and turn and find a way that that's potentially illegal. Well, either there's something wrong or there's not. Like if you have to twist and turn, so you're just in it because you want control. So the music industry is just in it because they want control, not because there's some, right or wrong they're fighting for. That's not the reason. Maybe the indie artists are, and that they feel that they are, but like you said, I just don't think they're looking at it the right way.
These indie artists are being fed garbage by the labels. Like,
Hmm.
these people that are using AI music are coming after you, and they're going to take over. And these indie artists don't have enough with them to understand that the very people that are telling this to them and feeding them with fear are the people that are actually taking food off their table. You know,
Yeah.
these record labels are just thieves themselves, and they take like I don't even know how much. I've never heard like how much of a
A lot.
percentage of an artist.
Like I think by the time you get done with your publishing costs and all your costs plus the industry, it's something like 25-30% of whatever song is when the money goes out, that you get to keep. I saw a very an anecdotal visual representation of that. It could be more, it could be less, but that's the number I'm going by.
Yeah, yeah, and I saw a video with Prince. He was going through that, and he was explaining to a talk show host. I forget which one it was now, but the talk show host said that Mariah Carey had just been signed for a $20 million deal, and the talk show host was like, "Wow,
Mm,
ain't that a great deal?" And Prince was like, "You really think that's a great deal?" And he said, "How much would you pay me? If I sold albums for you, you were a record label." And the talk show host said, "I'll give you half." And he said, "What if I sold 3 million?" He said, "If I sold 3 million, then I would be worth more than 20 million, and I wouldn't get 20 million." So he said, "You really
yeah,
think Mariah Carey got a good deal?" Prince was a
yeah,
smart
yeah.
man.
I think I heard that interview too, and
Yeah,
and you just reminded me of that. Yeah, yeah. When you listen, you're going, "Ooh, geez." So imagine. So yeah. So that, I guess that goes back to the indie artists. So indie artists, I guess, internally be motivated not to be really excited about what we do,
right.
because if you take that into consideration, they go, "Oh, here's yet another thing. Here's yet another thing. Well, I'm going to be making less from what I do, right?" So I guess, from their own perspective, it's just another thing that hurts them.
Hmm.
Um, from their own perspective. They don't. I guess, what they should be looking at is, oh, good. Now I've got a tool that I could use,
Or
as well, right?
or what they could look at is I've got a million songwriters out here now,
Mm,
plus more than a million, but I've got millions of songwriters out here now that I'm making my own music, and I can pluck from this crop of songwriters, and maybe I can collaborate with them and produce some of the songs that they're writing for Suno. You
yeah,
know, I mean, but you know, you got smarter people in the room than you or I guess, that are staying in control.
yeah, yeah. Well, because they got bunches of people that put think tanks together and say, how can we crush these people?
Yeah,
So today, producer just made an announcement. Actually, this would be interesting to talk about, because when this comes out, it's going to be old news. We're going to find out, because so producer just sent an email out to everyone. Do you use producer? Or you just use
I
Suno?
just use Suno right now. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So producer just put something out saying you've got 3 days to download all your songs, and then we're going to go to a new model. It sounds so familiar to me, um, and I just think it's funny. Like, oh my god, we didn't know that we were running this project to put a new model out for the last 6 months. We only just became aware of all the meetings we've been having for 6 months, that we knew exactly what we were doing. That's what you're expected to believe. So, I suspect there's more to it than that. By the time this comes out, I imagine we'll know what that is. So what do you think about, like, I mean, we feel like AI music software, like all these things like Suno, Udio, Producer, we'll say some of the other ones, we'll say like Melody, that uses some of the technology that exists. That they're there. They're a tool for the people, but we keep seeing where, either they don't have the fight in them, or really it's just about the money. So like right now it's very much open slather. You can do what you want. But do you feel like, how do you feel about that?
I I think eventually, and I'm not sure this is the answer to the question that you're asking, but I think eventually what's going to happen is, with Suno, we'll just take Suno. I think what's going to happen is it's going to get a whole lot more expensive. If we
Mm,
want to stay with it and we want to still make music through Suno, I think we're going to be able to. AI music is not going away. You know, it's being fought against, but once the cat's out of the bag, the cat doesn't go back in the bag. So
yeah.
I think what's going to happen is it's going to get a lot more expensive, and I don't know what you're paying. I don't know what anybody else is paying, but my subscription's about $11 a month. I think that'll probably shoot up to about $40 a month. And I think
Oof.
if you want publishing rights to some of your songs, I think they're going to work it out so that that's going to, there's going to be even a higher tier where you're going to pay for maybe even publishing rights to each song. So um, I hope I'm wrong, but I think this is going
Yeah.
to get a whole lot more expensive before somebody figures out how to make everybody happy.
Yeah. I just, well, on this topic, I just do somersaults in my head and flip flopping around. I don't know what's going to happen, and I try to predict what's going to happen. I don't want to say what I'm predicting is going to happen or anything like that. I don't even know how to basically align anything in my head to say this is likely, because it's everything is so up in the air. Like,
Yeah.
I guess you model like Udio right now, like they're having their walled garden and you can produce stuff within their platform, and you can use, like, we'll say Mariah Carey's voice if she gives permission. Any artist that gives permission, you can create something, but then you can't publish it. But then I think a company like Suno is going like, well, what freaking good is that? Like, like the biggest thing that people go is like, who owns the song? Can it be produced? Can I release it? That's
Yeah.
what everybody's interested in. So what freaking point is Udio?
Well,
In you know,
yeah, and to your point, I see Suno going in that direction too, where it seems like it's building itself up to be more of a larger, all inclusive platform, so that we can do things within the program, the platform, kind of
mm,
like a TikTok, so we can publish our songs, that we're not going to move them to YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or anything like that, or Apple Music, and we keep them within the platform of Suno. I think there's going to be like a really cheap tier for that, maybe even free. I don't know, but yeah, I think they're building an all inclusive platform for that. So that's that. I see that happening.
yeah. I hope they don't go that way. I really hope,
Me
because I
too.
think the value for, well, I think the value for people like us in this community is basically being able to put that song in our hands and do whatever we want with it, to like put it in the, yeah. And also I'd be suspicious I'd be really doubtful that it'd be going that way, because right now Suno is basically developing in a way that you can bend and stretch everything, but I guess, at the same time within their own DAW, within their own studio thing, so that they're still not, I guess,
That's why I say that, because I
hoping.
see more
Yeah, yeah,
more framework being built. Like there's quite a few things. There's a bunch of different tools within the platform now that I haven't even played with.
yeah.
But I see them there, and I'm like, that wasn't there, a few months ago, or so. I'm seeing all this being built, and I'm like, this looks like they're building their own platform, like TikTok.
Yeah. No, they definitely are doing that. Like, if you look at, if like I keep a really close eye at things like, who are they hiring?
Yeah,
What job roles are they marketing? Like, I look at, I don't talk about that stuff a lot, but I do look a lot about that, and the I guess the executives that they have, and the people in the job roles that are going out are very much like, what other revenue streams can we make with Suno? Suno's the one I watched the most, because to me it's the most interesting.
yeah,
Like, so they're definitely looking at ways to generate revenue other than just subscriptions, because they make right now income for recurring revenue is about $200 million a year. So roughly what they had for their investment, for their seed round, at a valuation of 2.5 billion. So they've, for those investors to get their money back, if they want to have their exit, they've basically got to double in a short amount of time
hmm
the amount of money that they have recurring, and that has to be in other revenue streams. And the most obvious one is distribution in some way, which is probably on their own platform. This is all theoretical, so I don't
yeah,
know. I'm
yeah. I
not in
know.
Paul's, I'm not in Paul's meetings with
No,
his new hires and all
it's
that
fun to
stuff. But
speculate, though, right?
it's fun. Well, I mean, I think it's beyond speculation when you just look at who they're hiring and stuff. So they're like they've had people invest $200 million. They need to grow that in a relative. Usually when you look at like exit, you're looking at 3 years, roughly
Yeah.
3 to 5 years. So they need and they have to have more than $200 million in recurring revenue, and that's that. Then that does that. You know, they got costs, they got developers, especially at this time, and they got marketing, they got lawsuits and stuff. So it's just interesting. So they have to have other revenue streams. They have to have other ways to make money.
Well, I say fun because I'm a numbers nerd.
Mm.
One of the things I also do is I also invest. On Robinhood, I invest, and I also one of my favorite things right now to do is predict the price of Bitcoin from hour to hour.
Oh,
So
please tell
I make a
me.
little
I'd
bit of
love
money
to
right
know.
there doing that. Um,
Yeah.
so that's why I stay away from even the thought of being monetized one day on YouTube or anything, because I mean it could all be taken away from you if you do the wrong thing. You know,
Mm.
uh, I just want to get more subscribers. I'm a small
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
I got like 167 subscribers, dude.
Yeah. But you plug in with us though. You like you're valuable to us at least. Like where
Well,
you're
thank
like
you.
you're worth like 10 subscribers to me.
I don't know about that, but
No,
I
it's
mean,
good. Good
to tell the
community member.
truth, I believe you've brought me like 40 subscribers, that I wouldn't
Mm.
have. I'd be down there to around 120, maybe 110 even, if it hadn't been for you. Every time you showcase one of my works, then I have people coming in the comments saying, "Hey, I'm coming here from AI DIY." So you've brought me quite a few subscribers.
Yeah, I that makes me really proud that I have that segment. And actually, like, because I'm an emotional person, I'm getting that little tingle on my nose because I'm glad it makes a difference to anybody
No, no, but
to be
seriously,
fair. So
seriously, we all owe a debt of gratitude to you. Because you don't have to do what you do. I'm sure you're a very busy guy now. Maybe you weren't to begin with, but you are now. And I value people's time. And I think time is the most precious commodity that we have. Uh, Time's more valuable to me than money. And
mm,
you spend all that time to showcase other people's work, and you rarely talk about your work. And I try
yeah.
to go over there every once in a while, especially when I see you dropped a new video on Praise Be Vinyl. I try to go over there and see what you did. But yeah, I mean, you, uh,
I appreciate that. I don't get a lot of views over there. Like I'll drop a song and I might get actually this latest one's got a few because it was part of my live feature
yeah,
because I wanted to do an Aussie rock song. But generally I don't even with all the people like I have on my AI DIY channel, like on this channel, I don't get a lot of traction over there. But I just have this I just have this need to have something be good. Like, yes, I need this to be successful and I need to draw an income from this. Yes, but I have to do it the right way. And you're right. I don't promote my stuff a lot because I don't want to give the impression that I have this channel here for Praise Be Vinyl.
right, right. I understand that, and I've always been on that borderline of like, should I share my stuff on my socials or should I not? Should I leave it in the AI music groups and just leave it there? And I built my Facebook page just for kind of separate that. And I got like 38 followers there. I'm so proud.
It should be getting fall. People underestimate when they just have these big views when they get into something. You see it on the AI music groups all the time, all through the Facebook and things, that they make a song and then they just get pissed off because 8,000 people didn't listen to it overnight.
Yeah,
And they go, no one ever listens to me. This is all bullshit. And it's guys like you that actually are happy to take the time. You plug into the community, you give to other people,
yeah.
and you're not being like, this is all bullshit. I've got 39 followers, and then you're good for that for now. That was good, right? And
Well,
you have a couple hundred people that do your RECTV,
the
just something you build over time.
the measure of success on my channel that I view it as, uh, and my mother, writes songs too, and I put them on the channel. So the measure of success for a video on the channel is 100 views. If it gets
Okay.
100 views, then that's our measure of success, whether it was a good, worthwhile our time, worthy of our time. Now, for a short, of course, those get more views. So, really, a measure of success for us on a short is if it gets more than 300 views. That's
Yeah.
just my internal. I set goals, and my former boss said that she thought I lived on goals because
Mm.
if I sold so many phones, then one day, then I told her I'm going to sell twice as many tomorrow. And she's like, that's not possible, Robert. But I've always said I set unobtainable goals. And
Yeah.
and my boss told me, she said, if you set unobtainable goals, you're going to be beating yourself up when you don't reach those unobtainable goals. And I said, no, that's not how I work. I said,
Yeah.
if you tell me I need to sell 10 phones today, and I say, gotcha, I'm going to sell 15, and I sell 12, I said, then I
Yeah.
sold two more than what you told me to sell. And I said, I'm celebrating that win, you know,
Yeah.
and that's how I've been. So I got my own internal goals for the channel. Um, right now, by the end of the year, I'm hoping we have 250 subscribers. And
Let's
2027,
make that happen.
I'm hoping 500. At the end,
Yeah.
my end goal is I just hope I get like 2,000 subscribers. You
Yeah.
know, at some point.
Let's pause here just because you're goal setting stuff, because I think this is important for you. And now this is a good lock to have because you're obviously an authority in this sort of thing. Because like I goal set for, look, let me just try to frame this the best way. Maybe about 10, 12 years ago, I finally got the inclination that maybe I don't want to work for people for the rest of my life. And then when you do that, you tend to find a course of people selling real estate or something like that, or read a book. And then you just hear about vision boards. Then you get into these groups that the person in charge of the guru tells you all that they're the successful person that you're supposed to model after. So then all you do is you put the exact same things up on your vision board that they had because you want to be successful like them. I've found that that is the worst fucking thing you can do because, like, I don't like driving a Ferrari and whatever else that person thinks is important. Having 15 houses, in Mar-a-Lago or whatever, isn't important to me. So it doesn't motivate me. I don't care about that. I don't care about Ferraris. I don't care about houses in Florida. But because that person's successful, like my brain thinks I have to do exactly the same as them, but I'm not motivated to that stuff. How do you goal set for you?
How our goal set for me is, what impact is it going to have? Like, I've had so many people tell me, "What do you care how many views you're getting on your songs? Just put them out for you.
Mm,
You'll feel better after you get it out there." And I'm like, "No, I have this up in my head. Like all these songs that
mm,
I put out are up in my head already. I can play them in my head for that. I want to put them
mm,
out. I want to entertain. I want I want somebody to feel when I put out a song. I want them to feel joy. I want them to feel angry. I want them to feel sad. Make them laugh, make them cry, but make them feel something. And if nobody's watching that, then so my goals are centered around impact on others.
yeah. That's That's actually really good goal, and that doesn't necessarily motivate everybody because some people that wouldn't motivate at all. So you look at you as successful in the place that you want to be. If someone else tried to model exactly what you're doing, that's not going to work for them because they don't care about impact to other people the way that you do. So yeah, so as far as like goal setting goes, right? So if someone says Robert's a successful guy, I want to be like Robert, you can't necessarily say this in my experience, like I want to model that. So I want to set target goals to help other people because maybe that's not, and it's okay to have goals that are focused on you. It's not right or wrong, right? So that's the impact you want to have. And I have similar goals, right? If I'm being successful, I have to do it in a way that I'm not screwing over a whole bunch of people. Some people don't care about that, right? Your goals have to be for you, and you have to. That's why I see people in like the Facebook groups. You shouldn't be putting music out to be successful. You should, just like you said, it should only be to be happy for you. Well, there's no rule around that. Like, it shouldn't be like you shouldn't be telling people why they should be doing stuff. Like, otherwise, they're going to be motivated to do it for 2 days and then not do it at all. And that's what I found. Like, I started putting on my vision boards and writing in my journals exactly all the things that made people successful because I wanted to be like them. And I just thought that's just bullshit. That doesn't work. I have to find what's unique to me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, because when you start these vision boards, like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I listen to, Steve Harvey, and he does this motivation, uh, series. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but, um, I'll watch it, and it's pretty cool, but, his life story is amazing, but he says, "Write this vision board of 300 things that you want in your life," and he says, "You watch, with it visualized in front of you, you'll have 30 of those in a year. And for the next
Mm,
10 years, you'll get 30 of those every year." And I'm like, some of those I don't think I'll ever have in my life. I'm not counting them out, but some of those are just kind of unrealistic, you know? And I'm
yeah.
like, and some of those I could do today. And it's something that he would never, imagine because he's in a totally different situation. And
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, my small success probably wouldn't be what he considers successful because of where he's at.
Yeah. I mean, and that's it. You got to find what's successful for you. I've,
Yeah.
I've mentioned this a few times in my channel. There's at one point where making $1 off of an idea that I had was so unrealistically stupid for me to even consider that now that I've made like thousands of dollars off ideas that I have, I'm just proud. I made $1. If I made $1 10 years ago off of just some random idea that I had online, I would have been like, this is the greatest thing that ever happened in the history of planet Earth and the galaxy that I just made $1. So
Yeah.
when I see people downplaying, like they go, oh, I only made $10, getting excited actually that I made $10 on Spotify last night. And then you go see people go, oh, that shit, what are you going to retire now, dickhead? You go,
Yeah.
no, that was success for that person.
Yeah, I know. I made $13 on Bandcamp before I just decided I wasn't gonna do Bandcamp anymore. That was before they banned us.
No, and they decided since then that you're not going to do Bandcamp either.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good news is I already stopped before they stopped me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
No, I can't, you can't fire me. I quit.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But, I made $13 while I was there, and there was people that said, $13, wow, now you can retire, and I was like,
Mm,
but, at least, that was before I decided I wasn't gonna charge anymore, 'cause I
mm,
almost didn't feel right about it. I guess that sounds kinda
yeah.
stupid, but, I was just like, "I should be doing this just to be doing it and just for people to enjoy," and, but
People getting in your head, man.
I know. I know. But, I got on there and I made a few bucks and, like you say, it gets you excited, that somebody actually thinks that what you do is valuable, so
Mm,
it keeps you going.
yeah. Cool. So what's next for REC TV? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't want to talk about your whole method. Like, if you want to see Robert's like method on hip hop and his back influences stuff, go check out,
Right.
Papa Presents, thing.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
next for you?
Okay. So what's next is mom pretty much puts out a song. Like she's always writing songs. So that's gonna go on like every day. Almost every day she has one for me to upload. But as far as my end of it, sometimes I go through writing droughts where I just can't think of anything. But right now, I'm working on a little bit of a track to kind of clap back at somebody who called every AI artist fake. Um, and she really likes to talk crap about us every single day. So I got
Where is
something
this, in the
coming for.
Discords, or is this in Facebook or something?
Oh
Where is that?
no, no, no! You interviewed her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Be
Top
interesting.
music attorney.
Oh, that person. Oh, so she doesn't say that, does she?
She said it. Yeah. She
Oh,
said that somebody went to Fiverr to get a song made for their
yeah.
business. And this person that offered to do the song actually took the idea, then went to Suno, made the song, gave it back to the person that paid him on Fiverr, and she called that person that did that a fake artist. Fake. So what does
Okay.
it make the rest of us fake? So anyway,
Yeah, I'm curious about that take about. I would definitely push back if I would definitely push back against that.
um so I'm making something there. But also I'm what the ultimate goal is, and I've done been told I can't do this. So that makes me want to do it even more. What the ultimate goal is I want to make a short film, and I want to use some of my songs as a soundtrack to the short film. We're talking short. We're talking like maybe 10 minutes, and put it
Yeah.
out there to see how it does. And if it does good, then maybe I'll get something where I can do a longer film. But I think I could do a 10-minute film on my phone. But there was somebody that said I can't. So got to do that. Hopefully I do that this year, maybe by this summer. Um,
Yeah.
in the meantime, I want to do some uh, theatrical work, videos, start doing more like theatrical intros before the song actually picks up and starts. Um, let's see. I really, I really want to go back into rock a little bit and try that and see if I can pick up there because I wrote 5 rock songs. They did fairly well compared to everything else, and I mean they didn't even have videos. It was just music. Um, so I want to do that. That song that video that you watched called "Dear," that was burying my rap self, for the time being so that I can focus on another genre. I do wanna do some more country, get back to country, maybe some Southern rap too, but that's what's headed down the pike this year. Also, like you, I wanna go in and, I wanna clean up my channel, first of all, but like you, I want to go in and change my logo, get a better logo done, and, the banner up at the top. I wanna change things up a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you keep it fresh, man.
Yeah.
Like just one foot in front of the other. I think like I look at the stuff that I have now and I go, dude, I could not have built that in a day or a week or a month.
Yeah.
That's just chipping away and doing a little bit over time. And then after 2 3 years, you go, "Ooh, I got something now." Logo is an interesting one. I'll talk about that offline to you, like the way you sort of I had to sort of approach it. And one thing was like I need to know the colors and I need to know why before I even sort of got into the logo.
Yeah,
What do I want to
a lot
achieve
of
with it and all that
a lot
stuff.
of marketing goes into that. Yeah,
Yeah.
marketing and branding. Um,
Yeah.
but but yeah, I mean, um, also I studied I studied a lot of Eminem's work here lately and NF's work here lately. Um, internal rhyming, internal rhyme schemes and all that. So I've been wanting to use that and maybe even use some of that in my country work. You know,
Hmm.
I always want to do something different, you know. I always want to challenge myself. Uh, maybe not on the next song, but maybe next week, next month, because I don't want people to keep hearing what I did last year, you know. I
Yeah.
want them to be like, "Wow," you know, "What's this?"
Yeah. Well, I like the idea too of you saying, and I love that you talked about that rhyme scheme that you do. And I thought I recognized that is I thought I heard Eminem at one point saying in an interview, like they said, "Well, how about this word? There's no way to rhyme this word, right?"
Orange,
And he said something, but if it was what it was, or it was this orange,
orange.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have, yeah. And he goes, "Well, what if you do this?" And he took a completely different way to do it. And I thought that's really interesting
Uh,
because I think the songs that sound most clean that I do are when it's not like direct rhyme, direct rhyme, direct rhyme, all the things. It seems very robotic.
yeah, yeah, and, there was a song that I I can't remember if I put it out yet or not, but, it's got bars where, almost every word rhymes with the word in the next bar. Like,
Yeah.
uh
That can be done successfully too.
Like,
That can be done
that's yeah, that's
successfully.
something I'm trying to do, like a ABCD, ABCD, you know, like,
Yeah.
keep that intact as long as I can. I mean, I can't probably not do that in a whole song, but maybe I could do that for 8 bars, you know, and
Yeah. Challenge
that
yourself.
would be pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
I'm learning, you know?
But that's what this channel's about, man. Like I don't try to be a guru here. I try to like be like, dude, tell me, what do you know? I want to know. And it sounds like you're that same way too. You'll go out and seek it. This is another reason why I don't feel comfortable with people that bag what we do, because the people that are in this community, we all try to learn. We people show up to my weekly challenges going, do this, try to, and then they go and research that genre. And then what can I learn about that? How can I incorporate that into into a song that I don't feel comfortable with normally, and then put it out in something.
The one
Like
thing
we are students.
Yeah, the one thing I don't do is, and I know there's people out there in our community, and that's cool. There's people out there in our community that says they're brutally honest. That's cool, okay?
Mhm.
But I'm not your brutally honest guy. Like, I try to encourage everybody. If you come to me and you ask me my opinion on one of your songs, I'm not gonna tell you what I don't like about it. Like, that's for you to
Yeah,
know. I think if you're anything
yeah,
like me, you already know what's not good in your song. And
yeah.
I know when I put a song out and it's trash, I know it's trash, like, right off the bat.
Yeah, that's true to a point. No, that's true to a point. And I tend to agree. I've told people I'm not that guy. I'm not here. My place in this spot isn't to be the guy that gives you that. But there is ways to do it, because I'll give you an example, and I'll give you a exact example. If Dick Buttons came to me with one of his Fallen Angel songs, and he gave me a country song, right?
Yeah.
And he asked me directly for feedback. And if someone asks you directly for feedback like that, I think it's dishonest to come back and say like that's great, right? Because he trusts you in a way to give that sort of feedback. And I said, look, man, you're outside of what. Actually, I won't give the exact because I don't think it's appropriate to
Right,
give an
right.
exact. But I gave him feedback,
You
right?
gave him
And
feedback, yeah.
it was honest. Yeah, I gave him feedback, and the reason is because he may not see what it is. He's relying on me because he knows I have an eye in a particular way, and I have life experience that he doesn't have,
Right.
and he needs me to take that life experience through the lens of my. He doesn't have to action it, but he asked me specifically. So in that case, I will.
See
You know, if it's someone that I have a relationship with, and he wants to meet through my own lens.
I'm just like, I'm the guy that will tell you what I like about it, and
Okay.
then you know what I like, and then if
Hmm.
you wanna construe from that, you know, that whatever I didn't or whatever I didn't mention, I didn't like, hey, you can, you can go with that. But
You read between the
yeah,
lines. Yeah.
I mean, some people, I just don't think they have a good song, and but they made an excellent video, and I'm gonna be like, I love that video.
Yeah.
I mean, they, but I believe,
I want to defend you here. Actually, I want to defend you here in that approach for a bit, because a lot of people will go, well, that's bullshit. And maybe it seems like I was saying that, but it's not.
no,
There's an example that because people sometimes will walk away and they'll give up everything because they get a bit of feedback and they misunderstand what you meant by it. So you need people that are cheering people on. You need that. You need people that are just your cheerleaders, especially to get started. I had an instance years ago at the baseball club that I belonged to. I belonged to a few, and I basically coached him when he was really young as a junior. And he grew up and he ended up being a pretty good baseball player. And there are scouts for the Braves that coached that the club, and he got a hold of this kid, and he said, there's two levels. There's, if you play in the ones, your top level in that in the division. If you play in the twos, you're kind of like reserves for that ones. You can go back and forth between the two. And the coach said, look, if you keep going, like, you could probably play in the ones. Well, he interpreted that as, if I play, I'm going to play in the ones. Then he didn't play in the ones because he was a twos catcher. So he basically quit playing grade baseball, and he got upset, and blah, blah, blah. It's because what you hear sometimes in that feedback isn't necessarily what's actually being said. So sometimes you just need a cheerleader,
I'm I'm horrible. I'm horrible about feedback, so I don't ask for it. Like,
Yeah.
no, really, I know that about
Yeah,
myself.
and
Like,
it's fair enough. That's you as a person. You have a
yeah,
right.
like, my vision is my vision, and that's why I don't collaborate with anybody. Like, my vision is my vision, and I would be horrible trying to collaborate with somebody, because if you try to change something of mine, I'm gonna be like, "No, that's mine, that's staying," you know? And if somebody tries to give me criticism, even if it's constructive, I'm like, "Hey, I don't need that. This is what I'm putting out there. If you don't wanna listen to it, then don't listen." But
Mm,
but I'm horrible about taking feedback, so I don't ask for it. But,
yeah. I guess your feedback is your views. You see your views, and that's what you say. Like, oh, the people aren't picking up what I'm putting down. I gotta change that.
yeah, yeah, because it's hard for me, because and I imagine it's hard for other people too, but for me, it's like I pour everything into this. So once I pour everything into it and I put it out there and you trash it, I'm like,
Mm,
"Hang on, come on, like, was there not
yeah,
anything you
yeah,
liked about it?" You know? So,
yeah,
I don't ask. I don't ask for
yeah,
feedback from nobody. And, I'm pretty reserved about providing feedback,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah.
No, I get it. I get it. About hopefully one day you'll reconsider that, because it's hard. Like, from my upbringing, like, I remember no matter what I said, my dad would find a reason that it's a bad idea, and it's never gonna work, and this and that. When you basically get fed that,
Yeah.
like, you're really afraid to even bring anything forward, because your instinct is that you're going to be beaten down. But that's just something that I've worked on over the last like 15 years, is very tentatively at first, sneaking around the idea of feedback, and now it works for me. Now it still stings to a point. Like, you're still afraid to ask, just because the upbringing is, you're just programmed to be afraid to get hit. But the people that built the biggest things that I know actively seek out for feedback.
I I think rejection's hard for
It
anybody,
is.
Like,
Yeah.
especially when you're creative and you do put something out there to the world and you're so proud of it, and then you find out, like, it's not everybody's bag, Like, like,
And you want people to understand, but don't you understand? This is the message of this. Don't you get it?
there's probably a lot of my videos, a lot of the songs that I actually make into videos that people are looking at, that are like, "I don't get it." So,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not for everybody to get, man.
yeah.
I'm reading a book right now where I'm 60% in, and I'm going, finally I get it, I guess. But there's TV shows out there. I'll give examples, like the reboot of Battlestar Galactica. they didn't trust the audience. So and I guess The Walking Dead is a more recent example of it. Every single bit of dialogue was basically the actors turning on the camera going, this is what I'm doing in this scene.
Yeah.
I'm acting in a way that you understand because there's no nuance to what I'm doing whatsoever, right?
Oh yeah.
And sometimes that art works for people. It was a very, successful show. And there's some stuff out there that's made that's very vague, and they just need you to feel the experience and figure out what they're doing over time. There's space for both ends and everything in between.
Exactly. I like for those kind of shows where I have to think, and I like to put stuff out there of my own where it makes people think.
Yeah, and that's good. And sometimes I make songs and my wife goes, what the fuck do you do? I have no idea what you're trying to do in this song, but I love it. And I hope that 5 people will get it, right?
Exactly.
And she'll tell me. And that's an example, like, while she's doing it, internally I'm burning inside going, tell her to shut up. I wouldn't tell her to shut up, but please, you just don't get it, and you're totally dumb. And this isn't what I'm actually thinking, but emotionally inside.
Yes, I get it.
Like there's another thing fighting going. You have to take this feedback because that's her point of view, and you don't have to action that feedback, but you should still hear her out because this is her experience that she's having. So you need to feel that because it's a real human experience, and other people that are listening are human too.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. There's also not in that case, totally not. And I'll tell you, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, I was saying some people are human, some people are not.
No, I get it. Yeah, and I was saying maybe she is and maybe she isn't. I don't know. We've been together a few years, but I'm starting to catch on.
You would know by then. Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows, man? Either she is or I am, but I don't think both of us are. Nice, cool. So why don't we do this? I had some feedback at one point, and I say this at one. People who are here long enough will have heard this before, but I like to play people out in your own song of choosing, because someone said, like, we hear all this person, we don't know the songs that they do, but you get us very curious about this person. What song would you like to play out to? Like, introduce it like you're MTV VJ and say, why, and we'll play you out with that song.
Well, one of my favorite newest songs that I've done is called I Stand Alone. It doesn't have a video or anything, but and the cover art that I decided to do was just me and my little black hoodie standing in a field at night with scarecrows, and basically I don't have any of my peers with me. I just have these scarecrows because I feel like sometimes that I'm kind of alone even in this community. So it was kind of a Slim Shady take on me being alone in a crowded community where I don't really communicate with a whole lot of people. So
you're definitely known, though. You're definitely known and seen. You're definitely a loved person in this community. So hey, I hope I haven't ruined that song, and now you're feeling differently. But we'll play out your song.
Okay.
And we'll play out your song. Hopefully people will love it. But thanks, Robert, for joining us, man. I mean, this is a conversation we want to have for a long time. I know we moved this up a couple of weeks. Some things have happened here personally in the last couple of weeks, but I just wanted to be able to have the time to sit down and talk to you properly. So thanks for Robert for coming along. I appreciate that. And hope everybody enjoyed this interview, this podcast, and we'll catch you in the next one.
REC who? Never heard of him.
Is this thing even on? Whatever. I straight alone. Is this thing even on? Whatever. Despite my persistence to make wish lists, every Christmas traditions I was kept at a distance. There was no instance I mentioned to my existence. There no sense, so there's no listening. The hope of fixing this condition, who it's not hitting when maybe it's just it indifferent. So I just keep remixing it until I find like mine just fitting me, but there's no vibe. They'll keep reminiscing. Hello, are you still listening? Hello, I stand alone. I'm the king of the basement of this place, with a list of grievances as long as fly on the shame train, burning down the choir just to feel a little flame pain. ACB accepted me, shuffle like a dame is crowded from the black sheep. Commanded about the flock sliding by everything the elephant in the room. When the subtle minute of relevance in the pessimistic dome. I'm so gifted I should wrap myself in plastic. If I'm so certain that my soul's for life is drastically sarcastic. I walk into the party and the vibe just flatline. I'm the only one only reading between the jad lines. You're a genius. Life's really hard to solitude. I'm just a goose with the loose mood and attitude. Maybe I'm still wrong. Maybe the blueprints go backwards. Maybe I'm a god, but just a clown in the backwards. I'll laugh until I cry, and I'll laugh because I'm fried. Yeah, I'm just best in the world. Man, I'm tired of lying. I don't need them, I don't want it, I'm fine on my own. I'm the king of the place, make my display space fit with a list of grievances as long as my fist slip. I'm too weird for the cool kids, too cool for the weird ones. Standing in the mirror screen and look right to be I'm the stage so press the side, a vocal press the high. I'd walk you in my chest now while I'm dead inside. So come and join the cycle. Oh wait, there isn't one. Just me and my shadow, everything's real. So leave your invitations. I got minimal patience for these beautiful conversations and simulations. On the out past the last to get past the flash. Wearing a smile when it's really just a plastic mask. You don't like me? Fine. I don't like me either. I'm a bottom feeder and a top tier believer that I'm the sickest, strict the lyrics, a psychotic critic. If this you fits everywhere, I'm kicking the tech thumb. I'm a lone wolf in a poodle parlor, getting marginally Parker like a permanent marker. Man, I'm pleased. Oh wait, come back, I'm staying. I'm already gone. It's a coast in the coast with this head gone. Yeah. Just yeah. Solo. The only person who understands me is the guy in the mirror. But even he's starting to look at me funny.